Hi, teachers. I'm super excited to share an inside look of Musicathlon Around the World. So, if you're familiar with the original Musicathlon, this has been around since the early 2000s. And with my students, I rotate it every 4 years, just like the Olympics. And so I always do it the same year that coincides with the Winter Olympics when that comes. And then we've been doing it every 4 years. And I started to feeling a little bit like, okay, it's been 4 years, time for Musicathlon again, but I really need a change. So teachers need changes, right? So I decided, okay, we're going to change things up, and Musicathlon Around the World was born. This specific program is a totally different experience than the original Musicathlon. It still has that Olympic vibe, because we're traveling around the world, but it's a different experience. So that's a great one to kind of go back and forth and rotate between Musicathlon and then come back 4 years later and do Musicathlon Around the World and then switch it back and forth. So that's how I am using it with my students. So I thought I'd show you an inside look. So let's get started. We'll start with a student flight map. So as students practice, they are going to keep track of their practicing in the student flight map. And the flight map includes 3 print options. It includes a full color, partial color, and black and white. So I opted for my cover, the partial color, and then kept it like this inside. You'll kind of see it's a similar look to the original Musicathlon, but different enough. And then I opted for the black and white inside for 2 reasons. One, it's cheaper to print, but second, I think it's fun for students to color when they finish a country. So in this one, students are going to color the lines in their flight map as they're practicing. So there are 18 practice days on each country. And how I came up with that number is I averaged 5 days of practice each week, and with a couple days of missing. So that's how I came up with 18. There are 13 countries to choose from, which is great. They're probably not going to get through all 13, and that's totally okay. Before I forget, you determine how many countries equal gold. I don't know how long you want to do this program for. You could do it for 6 months. You could do it for 12 months. You could do it, however long. Totally up to you. And that's going to really determine on how many it's going to take to earn that gold. So you can figure out the math as far as how many weeks you have and then go from there. Totally up to you. But what I love about offering all these different countries to choose from is students have choices. When they're finishing that, let's say they started with Australia. When they're finishing Australia, they don't have to go to Brazil next. They can skip and go to Canada next. And then after Canada, they can skip and go to Spain next. The great thing about this is each student are going to have their own travel experience, their own unique itinerary from any other students. So then you don't really have necessarily the comparison of other students. They're just completing countries, but they're traveling to all, different countries in whatever order that they want. So I just love that. So after they're done with a country, they are going to earn before that, they're going to do a challenge for that country. And I'm really excited about these challenges. There are 260 challenges to choose from. Now, you're not going to even need close to that many, but I like options. And so there are options for various levels, various themes, categories that you want to do. And you do not have to use the same challenges for the same students. That's what I love also about this is it's total differentiation. It's a total unique experience. So let's say I have a student who decided that they did Australia and they finished their Australia. So now I have 5 categories in Australia of challenges to choose from. There's 20 challenges in each country. There's 4 creativity, 4 ear training, 4 music history, rhythm, and theory. And so you can look and say, okay, this student, I really want them, they need more work on this, or I think they would really enjoy this challenge. So for example, in this creativity challenge, we have Koala Lullaby. Compose a soft lullaby using the black keys only, the pentatonic scale, imagining a sleepy koala in a eucalyptus tree. So because it's just the black keys, this would be perfect for your beginners that need that immediate success with creating a composition or an improvisation. And then we have one that, let's see, ear training, a bird song challenge. Listen to bird-like melodies. The teacher plays, melodies and recreate them by ear on the piano, or you could use the voice. You can use another instrument, whatever you want. So if something says piano, it doesn't have to be piano. I tried to be mindful of that, but I might have missed some. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't matter what you use, okay? Usually I said on your instrument is what I usually did. Anyway, so there's lots and lots of options. And the other thing that the cards include is some of them include a supporting worksheet. So for example, let's find one. I know Canada has one for sure under theory. So how you know there's a supporting worksheet is it will have a little star right there, and that tells you, oh, there's a supporting worksheet for this challenge. And it says Canadian key signature search, identify key signatures. And it's, if I remember this one correctly, it's a color by code challenge. So lots and lots of options. Now, like I said, you're not going to use even half of these, even a quarter of these, as far as the challenges go. So what I am doing with my students is I'm also using these as station activities. I have a music lab in my studio, and so I will be using a lot of these challenges as music lab assignments with my students as well. So you are welcome to do that, or whatever ideas you have. You can send them home as extra challenges or whatever you want to do. All right, once they finish a challenge, then they're going to earn their passport stamp for that country. So I have mine organized just in an accordion folder here. And I have, each country includes 2 passport options. I like to give my students choices, so I printed both options out. And one option is like the map of, a map design of the country. And another option is a place of interest that represents that country as well. So they can choose which stamp they want to stamp their passport. So in the passport, you will find the very beginning, of course, is information about themselves. You can take a picture and add that to their passport. Then when they complete their challenge, they're going to write their country and then mark which category it was. So for example, if it was ear training, they would just mark it ear training and then write down what challenge they completed. Once they're done with that, then they can stamp their passport. And about, here's the size of the stamp, about 2, there's room for about 2, it's hard to do this on the screen, about 2 stamps per page fits. Okay, so that is the student progress. Now let's go into some just fun optional stuff. I always like to have photo props for my students as they complete different things. So for an example, if they completed a country, they got their passport stamp, so they have this they can do. If they completed Greece, then they got their passport stamp for Greece. Then we take a picture, and I have like a ton of different photo prop options. So there's lots to choose from. Music is my passport, going from gold, practice one practice day at a time, all sorts of things, all sorts of options. And then we have some decor options. I have the Musicathlon plane, and then each country has their decoration. Oops. And then we have some metal posters. So, and then I have a banner that you can also hang up as well. One says Musicathlon Around the World, and then the other Strive for Your Best, which keeps along a similar theme of the original Musicathlon. I kind of try to combine a little bit, just enough to give it a familiarity, but still a totally different experience. So here's that's a photo prop. All right, and then I also one other thing I like to do with my students is a getting to know you worksheet. So this is an all about me worksheet that they can fill out. I do that every year with my students. It's always fun to see each year as they get older. And some other things that are included are teacher log, a printable teacher log to keep track of progress, but I also have a digital badge board that can keep track of student progress as well. Treat toppers, totally optional. Assignment pages, if you want to print assignment pages and add that to the student flight map, the workbook, make it a workbook, you can do that, or you might not need it. If you use Practice Space or Vivid Practice, you won't need that to print out. So that's totally optional. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If I haven't mentioned, there is also a map that you can print out and hang if you want as decor or showing progress, however you want to use it. So I give some suggestions. But all right, I hope that is helpful. I hope that gave you a good idea of what Musicathlon Around the World is all about. And I hope your students enjoy traveling around the world. Happy teaching.